first, I want to talk about the Niners' task this offseason, what they have to accomplish. Last offseason, one of their big tasks was fixing their special teams. They did that. Overhauling their defense. They did that. That was very much a Robert Saleh production. But this year, I feel like it's much more about the offense. The offense got exposed against best defenses. To score points against Philly, they had to have Juwan Jennings throw a touchdown pass. You can't. By the end of the year, they were like a trick play offense where they had to have non-quarterbacks throwing passes to get touchdowns. And then none of that stuff even worked against Seattle. So we know they need to add something new to the offense. And really, if I talked about it with Tom Walsh, who's so brilliant and so to the point, it's just like this team needs speed. This team needs yards after the catch. Period. When they were really good a few years ago, they were the best yak team in the league. Now they're one of the worst. They got to fix that. And so, to me, what the task is for the Niners this year is to get the next Deebo Samuel. They need to find Deebo Samuel Jr. And what they can't do is bring back Deebo Samuel Sr. That's what they need. What are they going to do? Are they going to actually try to find the next Deebo, or are they going to do, what I expect is to just bring back the old Deebo? Say, well, we know Deebo can give us like 800 yards from scrimmage and about 6 to 8 touchdowns, and that's about what Juwan Jennings would give you. It's in a different way, so we need to replace that production. We're going to do that. No, that's not good enough. He's beyond the point of helping you. Seattle wouldn't be scared of him. Kyle needs to actually watch a ton of film and figure out the next Deebo. And the only reason he found the real Deebo, the first Deebo, in the first place is because this was so long ago. It was the year where the Niners were so bad coming off of 2018. They were 4-12. They were so bad that he had to coach the Senior Bowl. Like the worst teams, the coaches from the worst teams have to coach the Senior Bowl. So he had to go to Mobile, Alabama, and coach players who were going to be in the draft. And since he actually picks the players anyway, this was very helpful for him. He coached Deebo Samuel. He got a feel for him. It's one of the best draft picks he's ever had. As opposed to when he drafted Ricky Pearsall without ever meeting him. Remember Ricky said that? Like, I'm really surprised the Niners drafted me because I've never had no contact with this team before the draft. So instead of going to, he's going to go to Saudi Arabia. That's not going to change. To me, it's going to be really curious. Does he even try to bring in the next Deebo, or does he just bring in Deebo? Because if he brings in the next Deebo, it shows that Kyle is actually invested in the future. He didn't play any of the young players on offense last year. He didn't develop anyone. They did the youth movement on defense, but not offense. They talked about growing pains and taking lumps on for the team, but only half the team did it. Why? So that's, to me, going to be the most telling thing. If they bring back the old Deebo Samuel, Kyle's cooked. He's done. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone in a year or two if he brings back the old Deebo Samuel. If they actually go out and get a new Deebo Samuel, Kyle could actually reinvent himself and maybe build something better than he had in the first place. The guy I like is Omar Cooper Jr., but there's also Casey Concepcion. Those are both guys who were projected to go right around when the Niners pick at the end of round 1. This is early. The combine and pro days will change that when you get like all the measurements and stuff. But for now, those are 2 yak specialists that look like they would fit what the Niners want. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, what is he? He doesn't really care if you're 6'3". Bill Walsh wanted big wide receivers. I mean, Jerry Rice was 6'2", T.O. was 6'3". Kyle doesn't really care. He likes 5'11" receivers. He doesn't care if you run a 4.3 or 4.4. I mean, Jacob Cowing does. Jordan Watkins does. That didn't help them get on the field. Like he just wants a guy who's 5'11" and runs a 4.5. Right? That's essentially what Kyle said. 5'11", 6 feet, run 4.5, maybe a little bit faster than that. And you either can run a full route tree and you're like wiggly, like Ricky Pearsall and Dante Pettis and Brandon Ayuk, or you can't run any routes or catch the ball, but you're a real threat after the catch, and you let Kyle Shanahan, show off by running in circles 8 times before the play starts with that pre-snap motion. They got to change something with his offense. It would be peak arrogance to bring back Deebo Samuel and be like, ta-da, we're better. Now we're going to score 20 points against Seattle. Like, no, it's not going to happen. But I did a show yesterday with the coach and actually bet him $50 that the Niners would re-sign Deebo Samuel. And the reason I felt so confident is because one, it's freaking Kyle. Don't we know him by now? And two, didn't Kittle say it at Media Row during the Super Bowl? He's like, we're going to be bringing back a familiar face. And someone was like, do you mean Deebo? And he was like, oh, I love Deebo. And they're like, wait, are you saying that the Niners are going to re-sign Deebo? And he was like, yeah, I love Deebo. It's like, and then Christian was asked about it. He's like, yeah, it's one of my favorite teammates ever. It seems like that core group of players, um, Kittle and McCaffrey, those two guys in particular have a big say on personnel. The Niners cut Kyle Juszczyk, uh, McCaffrey and Kittle expressed this the tiniest bit of sadness, and that guy was back in 48 hours. So if they want Deebo Samuel back, I could see Kyle Shanahan saying, why not? I want him back too. The problem with bringing Deebo Samuel back, beyond the fact that he's not the player he was a couple of years ago, is that he checks out mentally if he doesn't get the ball more than everyone else. Do you really want to run the offense through him? If you get Omar Cooper Jr., he could be a complimentary player at first. He's not going to be demanding things. He'll be in better shape than Deebo. He'll be faster than Deebo. He'll probably drop fewer passes than Deebo. His name won't be as cool. But he's a junior, not a senior. You know, here's my question. When a player is like a junior, it's like AP style. You're supposed to say that. You don't want to shorten that. You want to say their full name. But when players arbitrarily name themselves senior, am I supposed to really write that too when I'm writing for SI? Deebo Samuel Senior. Do we have to really refer to him as Deebo Samuel? That seems so silly. But it underscores no seniors on this team.